Hi guys, this is Barrett with West Coast Electric Cycles, and I am excited to show you guys my prototype customized Motobecane production bike. This is basically the platform that I'll be building most of my custom e-bike conversions. So this model here is the base model. This is kind of the most basic version of the bike that I will be selling. And it's based on, this particular frame is a Motobecane 29er frame. I can also build this on a 26-inch frame, Motobecane. The reason I chose the Motobecane was it had a good triangle space for the battery and controller for the smaller size here, and decent front suspension. And the dropouts were pretty good. I actually developed some custom torque arms for this particular frame that help keep that direct drive hub motor nice and firm in that dropout. 135 millimeter dropouts on the rear. The motor that I like to use for the basic model is the 35 millimeter V2 stator, which is a cast aluminum stator with 0.35 millimeter laminations. This is a good high efficiency motor. This particular motor is a 6 turn winding, which is about 8.1 RPM per volt, or kV. And this is very similar to the Leaf motor. In fact, I think it's a little bit better than the Leaf motor because of the aluminum stator. The phase wires are a bit smaller than the Leaf, but honestly, for the power that you're running to it, the larger phase wires really don't give you a whole lot of advantage because of the winding count. So this phase wire set is 2.5 millimeter squared phase wires going to our controller here. Overall, this is a great motor. I also offer a upgrade to a 45 millimeter direct drive hub motor similar to the Muxus 3K turbo motors. Also on the stock bike, we have a 6 MOSFET IRFB 377 controller. It's a sine wave Z-chain controller. It is programmable. I set them to 30 amp max output. And then the battery is a 48 volt 15 amp hour high-long extra large pack, and I use Samsung 30Q cells. So those provide really great current output. The battery is a 13S 5P configuration, so 5 cells in parallel can really pump out a lot of current. This control only takes about 30, so you're really putting a light load on those 30Q cells, which is something I really like about this setup. Also, the stock display that I use is the Cycle Analyst version 2.4. For an extra $50 I can upgrade to the version 3 and also include motor temperature monitoring with the V3 Cycle Analyst. You also get some PAS options when you upgrade to the version 3. So the Cycle Analyst upgrade is one I definitely recommend if you plan on doing anything more than kind of just basic cruising around. The throttle that I like to use is a half twist throttle that's got an integrated 3-speed switch and a power button. So pressing the power button turns the bike on and off. Nice little feature there that's all integrated into the throttle. That's the only throttle option I offer on these bikes, just to keep things simple here. The brake system is just the standard Tektro Novella brake system that comes on the stock bike, the Motobecane. It's a mechanical disc brake, and it's got 160 millimeter rotors front and rear. The front fork is a Suntour XCT suspension fork. And the drivetrain, again, I tried to keep things simple on the drivetrain here. So I kept the 3-speed chain ring in the front. So you have, in this In this case, you have a 22, 32, and 42 chainring on the front, and on the rear I just have a single speed. This happens to be a 19-tooth single speed ACS Crossfire freewheel. And then I also swap out the derailleur that comes on the bike for a Shimano Alphine single speed. The Alphine is actually meant for a internal geared hub, but in this case it works excellent to utilize the 3 speeds in the front. So this is a 1 in the back, 3 in the front drivetrain. So this just keeps it nice and simple. You just have the 3-speed trigger shift on the front. Performance on the bike with this particular battery, the 48 volt 15 amp hour battery, that gives you about 720 watt hours of battery life, which is good for about 30 miles at 20 miles per hour, which is pretty decent for a standard e-bike. I can also upgrade the battery to a 60 volt 21 amp hour triangle battery, or even a 72 volt 18 amp hour triangle battery. Usually I'll end up putting the controller underneath the down tube for the larger batteries. But for this particular setup, the range, like I said, is 30 miles plus at 20 miles per hour without pedaling. Or if you want to pedal and kind of cruise a little bit more slowly, about 15 miles per hour. With light pedaling, you could get over about 60 miles of range. Love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I'll have lots more videos coming in the future, and so if you want to stay up to date with everything I'm doing, please click the subscribe and enjoy.